Hey, welcome to the Facebook Live. My name is Joey Little, the social little man here on the interwebs. Thanks for joining me here live on Facebook, which is going very well. So let me start again, just so you guys can catch up. My name is Joey Little. I am the social little man. Thanks for joining me here on the podcast as well, and on YouTube and on Facebook Live as we wait for those to join us today. Very sticky subject today that we're going to talk about is, we're on the topic of personal branding and using online social media sites to brand yourself. For whatever reason that you want to brand yourself, there is many reasons why you'd want to brand yourself. I'm a little behind. I'm a little down today. And I'll talk about this conversation that I had online through Messenger earlier this morning. Not going to mention any names, but kind of brought something awareness to myself that I think that I'm lacking, and at the same time made me kind of think about this Facebook Live and this podcast today. Meaning, and if you look at the title, at least on the Facebook Live right now, I got trolls and haters in quotations, meaning that that's not necessarily the word that I want to use. It just tends to be the words that majority of people online use when it comes to criticism of what somebody is doing with their own personal social media or social networking strategy, tactics for whatever they're doing to promote themselves. Every single person that I've had a conversation with, online, offline, about personal branding has always brought this fact up, has always brought up the point that they have somebody or some people or whatever it is. It's always just maybe 1 to 3 that will reach out to them and say something to them negative about what they are doing online when it comes to branding themselves. And usually it comes across as judgmental. It comes across as scolding, like how dare you do what you're doing, or what do you think you're doing, or you must have a huge ego problem, or maybe you have something that you need to fill inside by getting attention by people. Attention whore is used quite a bit in the conversations that I heard. Camry, thanks for joining. I love Camry Warner. If you don't follow Camry Warner, at least on Instagram, she's spectacular when it comes to branding, what she's doing and the results that I believe that she's into Beachbody. She puts a lot of her stuff out there, a ton of her stuff out there. Michael, what's happening? The creator of the Burkholzing somebody. Remember we talked about in the past, you can go back and like a comment or like a picture from years ago. That's Burkholzing. We've got the man himself, Micah, in the room watching this. But when it comes to personal branding, and it comes to doing stuff like what Camry's doing, where she is putting herself out there, and stuff that I have done too. I just posted a picture of me standing in front of an airplane, and the quote was, don't put your negative stuff out on Facebook. If you want to, you should reach out to a friend. Don't use Facebook as your negative sounding post, right? I will get backlash for that. I will get a message, or I will get some smack talking in the background that will come back to me, third party. And it can be damaging. The thing is that we're not all sociopaths, right? Do I think that Gary Vaynerchuk gives a crap? I mean, his market is so huge, or his network is so huge that I don't think he doesn't give a shit, right? Does Grant Cardone really care if somebody's going to judge him? No, he's one that's really coined that term haters when it comes to people that are online that are going to judge him for what he's doing with his hustle, right? Hashtags, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to do online to bring awareness to yourself and what you do for a living, whether it's your goods, whether it's your services. Always, Mike, it's great with you online. I haven't seen you a lot online. I think that our feeds are kind of morphed right now, but I do see some great things happening with you over at Cox, man. That's cool. Kenan, thanks for joining. But it takes, the thing is that we are not all sociopaths. We do care. We do care what people think of us. We do care how we're being judged. I will tell you personally, it rocks me. If I get a message from somebody, who do you think you are? Why do you do all these Facebook Lives? What do you have to have the camera in your face all the time? You have to get it out there. Yeah, it's just how it is. What I'm doing, is there personal satisfaction to this? Absolutely. Absolutely. I love the fact that I'm able to to teach somebody something or to open their eyes up to something that maybe they never thought of before, or when it comes to marketing, when it comes to social media, when it comes to social networking, when it comes to talking about engaged employees versus disengaged employees, et cetera, et cetera. The things that I have been doing most of my studying about, most of my research about, most of my products that I've worked on to create with this great company that I work with AutoAlert, formerly with MotoFuse, that we merged later on. I'm proud of what we built, and we built it for a reason. We built it to help create more opportunities and more sales for the automotive retail industry, hands down. And I love what we built, because when new software goes out or anything like that, or new car or whatever it is, you're helping somebody that is looking for that. And one way, before social media, the only way that you can get your name out there was, let me just take my grandfather's construction company, Joe Little General Contractors in Topeka, Kansas. My grandfather belonged to things like the Moose Lodge. My grandfather belonged to things, I don't know if exactly, but like the Shriners Hospital, the group, the Shriners, right? He would network personally, face-to-face business cards. He's got placards on the sides of his truck. Growing up, seeing all this kind of stuff, seeing my grandfather supporting the construction company, did a lot of work for insurance companies. So he would go to the insurance company if they had a softball game where all the adjusters or whatever are on that team. He's going to go watch it. He's going to market. That's what he's going to do. And that's what he did. And he put himself out there, and he shook the hands, and he did that face to face, right? We're in a world now where we have people that are scared. Good morning, Lizelle. We have people that are nervous now to put themselves out there. We have a product here at AutoAlert, and what it is, and here's a quick little pitch of what we're doing, and this is not here to sell you anything, but we have a product called FuseCast, and what FuseCast does is it sits in the palm of every single employee's hand, and it's in there. Hello, Mike. Thanks for joining. It's an app that allows them to post things to social media that their dealership kind of pushes off to them to let them know, hey, listen, here's some cool stuff if you want to put out there. If you want to personally brand yourself, if you want to get out the word that you do this for a living, we have an app that does that. We makes it easier for employees to do that. The thing is that we've got so many people that are just nervous to do it. Not with the app, but it's just in general. I talk to a lot of salespeople that are just scared because they think they're going to get judged. They're going to get the haters. They're going to get the trolls. They're going to start trolling them. And I will talk about what I was talking about earlier about what I'm lacking and what I need to do different. And the conversation I had this morning, which we'll name nameless, completely offline. But thanks for Kenny. Kenny and I have talked about this before. People are just so worried that they're going to get judged, right? I put this picture out on Facebook. It's a picture of me in front of my buddy's jet that we were getting ready to fly to LA or whatever it was. Not my jet, but hey, listen, this is what I'm doing. This is a highlight for me. I'm going to be flying personal, right? I'm going to be flying a personal jet somewhere. This is cool. This is my highlight, right? 8 years ago, I'm back selling Nickelback on Topeka's Rock Leader V100. This is a change for me. This is huge. This is big. And I want to put it out there, and I want to show people, hey, listen, this is what's going on. It's a highlight reel. But when it comes to personal branding, a lot of people are scared to do things like that. A lot of people are scared to do Facebook Live videos because they're so worried about the backtrack. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get 3 different types of people that are going to judge you on these. One, you're going to get the people that are considered the haters and the trolls, the ones that are going to judge you for what you're doing, to bring in that attention to yourself. I mean, the whole point of doing personal branding is to bring attention to yourself, to bring attention to the goods and services that you provide, and so people can get to know you better. So they want to buy from you. They want to do business with you, right? If there's anybody in automotive retail that needs software or is having struggles with social media, let me read what Mike is saying here. I'd rather look ridiculous and win than fabulous and fail. Exactly. But a lot of people can't get over that hump. If somebody's looking for software to sell more cars at their dealership, I want them to think of me first when it comes up. Like, how am I going to get, this is what it is. Let me get a hold of Joey. But at the same time, I also want to provide some kind of knowledge base for a lot of you out there that maybe didn't know what you didn't know, right? About Facebook, about Twitter, about etc. What's worse, from Sally, potentially having people complain about you, sharing about your work, or finding out your friends purchased from your competitor because they forgot where you work. It's agreeable. The first group are people that are going to judge you. You're just going to be, there's a group of people out there, let's call it a third, that are going to judge you. They're going to judge you for no matter what you do. And you know what? It hurts. It hurts me inside. It hurts me inside when I get some kind of feedback that somebody thinks that I have this egotistical, driven, attention whoreness, right? Is it a bit true? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think so, because Kenny says, judge me. It's okay. And then you're going to have a group, the third, that's going to be inspired about what you're doing. There's going to be a group that's going to take away from what you're doing. They're going to see the picture of whatever I put on Facebook just this morning about me standing in front of this jet with a nice quote about don't make Facebook your place for posting negativity, make it your human highlight reel. They're going to appreciate that, and it's going to affect them somehow and maybe inspire them to do something. And then you're going to have a third that doesn't really care. They don't care. And I don't think it's a third. I think maybe it's a majority, a huge majority of people just don't care. They're just going to fly through the newsfeed. So Jamie Faulkner. Hey, thanks for joining, Jamie. Jamie, 2 floors down below me. That's awesome. Here at the Auto Alert offices here in Kansas City. I love being judged. It fuels my fire to prove you wrong. See, that's what we get from Grant Cardone. So Grant Cardone, if you've read tech, if you read anything from Grant Cardone, if you follow what he does, what he says is his haters fuel him. But I'm telling you, not all of us. Thank you, Kenny, about the pic that I put out there about my son. That's awesome. And that wasn't really for personal branding. That was just for the fact to make sure that he knows that I'm in his life and I love him no matter what. If you didn't see it, it's on Facebook. It talks about he's not my blood, but he's still my son. That's just something that I felt personally that I wanted to put out there and let him know and let him see that I put it out publicly that I feel this way about him with whatever changes that are going on in our lives and etc. But I lost my train of thought there a little bit. Yeah, this happens. But we're not sociopaths. Not all of us can be like Grant Cardone. Does anybody know if Grant Cardone really absolutely gives a crap if haters fuel him? I'm going to think that he does not care. I'm going to think that he does not care. And just remember, the bigger you get online, the more followers you get online, the more people that you're affecting online, the more people you're going to get that is going to come back and judge what you're doing. And there's going to be, remember, it's a third. We're going to say a third here are going to they're going to say something. They're going to troll you online. If you don't know what trolling is, it's when somebody will comment on a post that you've put, whether it be on Twitter, be on LinkedIn, etc., just to get an emotional response, a negative emotional response, or start that kind of passion. So for those of you that are wanting to do more, are wanting to post more about where you work at and your goods and services and promote yourself more so people will buy from you or trust you when it comes to goods and services, I know that there's this huge hump that you are facing of wanting not to be judged. The thing is, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You take, and think about it this way too. Think about who your favorite actor or actress or favorite band, right, musically, it doesn't matter what era, it doesn't matter what time, if they're still alive. Let's just take Humphrey Bogart and maybe, and Humphrey Bogart had his haters. Just did. I mean, you can quote me on that. Humphrey Bogart had his haters. I think I'll make a meme with that one now too, or a picture with that now too. But there's people out there that absolutely love the band Nickelback, right? And there's a lot of us that are haters on Nickelback. Why? I have my own reasons not to like them, but that's me. And then they put themselves out there and I'm just as guilty, right? So we all have it inside of us. Some of us maybe not as much as others. I can't see Kenny Landrum really hating on anybody out there or not liking anything, but Kenny's a great example of putting himself out there. Barney Rubble, hell of an actor. Yeah, but you know what? Barney Rubble has a hate group on Facebook. It's Mike DeLay. I'm telling you, there's a hate private group on Facebook that absolutely hates Barney Rubble. Like, who's this guy think he is, right? Trying to take credit for a lot of Fred's great ideas in Bedrock, you know? He's got a hater group. But here's the thing. It's not about being thick-skinned. It's not about not caring. It's just the fact of just not letting it affect you. Do you think Nickelback cares? You think Nickelback sitting in their giant houses and their vast fortune of money really give a crap that this 42-year-old fat white dude with a beard in Kansas City is not a fan of theirs? Right? I don't think they care. Don't think they care. But I'm not also one of those people who's going to go on YouTube and write some negative comments on their YouTube videos or Vimeo or whatever it is. But there are those that are out there, and they are reached. Now, what I was talking about earlier, the conversation that I was having with somebody offline, there's something definitely that I need to do different. And it was really brought to me. It's one of those moments where you're like, I need to be less of a lurker when it comes to being online. I recently... Kenneth says they don't care because they still sell out shows. It's true, Kenneth. It's absolutely true. But what I need to do is I need to start interacting more with the people online if I expect people to interact with what I'm doing. I need to, the fact is I see, I'm a lurker like a lot of you guys are. There's no way in the world that I can like, comment, or share every single post that goes through my feed. but I've just made it so easy that I just kind of scroll through it and I read and see what's going on, and then I just kind of move on to the next one, and I don't really interact. And then here I am hoping and begging for you while you're watching this video to hit the share button, right? Or to leave a comment, because I know that videos get over 1,000 views based off of Facebook's view algorithm. That's still a lot of people that are watching these videos. And if you look at the comments and the shares, yeah, you should just say happy birthday versus just lurk. Kenny, I'm so sorry, man. I put down 56,000 likes in the last year. Yeah, you get that at the end of the year reports. And I guess that's something that we can kind of look at. But somebody who had unfriended me in the industry based off of a video I did a few videos ago about how you should unfriend negative people that are inside your news feed, and about how you shouldn't put up the negativity. I felt bad. And then I looked back to see what kind of interaction I had with this guy, and I didn't do anything with it. I didn't really, I knew what was going on. I knew what was going on in his life on Facebook. I saw him go through my news feed, but I never really interacted with what he was doing. So I think it's a two-way street here. So if you're going to use an awesome app, what we have, it's going to allow you to post, content marketing stuff. It's going to let people know more about what you do with goods and services. If you can do auto alert at your dealership, then I think the other side needs to be me. I think that we need to take ourselves from being less of a lurker and more of interacting with other people if we want that to happen. So I've made this promise in the past, and I've failed every single time. I think twice before, but I'm going to do it third time's a charm, right? I'm going to try to become more interactive on Facebook. And I have the same fears that you guys have. I don't want to say anything stupid. I don't want to have something that I say get misconstrued. I don't want to jeopardize my professional life or any views that I have. I'll still stay away from political stuff. I still will stay away from the religious stuff. I still will stay away from the sexual stuff. But everything else. And it's so amazing how things can get misconstrued online. So if you're trying to build a personal brand and you're wanting to build a personal brand and this is holding you back, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there. There are going to be haters and trolls, quote unquote haters and trolls. You can call them concerned people or whatever it is. There will always be them there. Did I even make any sense? That sentence didn't even. There will always be them there. They will always be there. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what you post, there's just as many that are out there. Kenny, your app even ranks everybody with points for posts. Is that still true? Yeah, we do contesting through the app too. It's fun. Whatever you post through this app, your entire dealership company or whatever it is gets this app. It's very it's a posting tool. It's for people that want to post things about what they do at work, but they're not quite sure what to post. What it does is we are able, with our algorithms and what we're able to bring in as great content marketing and as engaging type posts, we push it in, and then every time you post, you get points. It doesn't matter if you get a lot of likes or comments or shares, it's just the fact that you post it. You get points, and you can have contesting at different companies. So if you post every single day, you're going to get, points every single day. If you post every other day, et cetera, et cetera. What's really cool about it is the content that comes. What we do is we strip the content off of the original source and we put it on a landing page. It's completely branded with your company's banners, logos, et cetera, but there is always a click through to get to the original. So instead of if you post something from autotrader.com, what we're going to do is put the information on the landing page, but there'll still be a click through to autotrader.com. That way you're not competing with any other dealerships or OEMs that are putting up ads or using Google. There's my pitch. I love Fusecast. I love what we built here. But getting back to the fact that don't be scared, don't be afraid. Remember that no competing ads. That is true. Just remember, you're going to have these people that are going to judge you. I am having a hard time with it right now. Every day I swallow it. I'm not bulletproof. It does affect me. It does affect me if I put something out there and I get through the grapevine or a third party. Like, who does Joey Little think he is? Like, does he think he's the next, Gary Vaynerchuk? No, I don't think I'm the next Gary Vaynerchuk. First of all, I'm not a fan of the Jets. Can't say Chiefs all the way. And two, different verticals. So I'm in automotive retail. In automotive retail, or I'm on the automotive software side, providing goods to we get, whatever side of the tracks you're on, whether you're in retail or whether you're on the vendor side, in automotive, it is a big ego-driven world here. or culture. It's all about the expensive watches. It's all about, I got your net worth from my fingertips to my elbow. Like I get it. We're in this business to make money, and you can make a lot of money selling cars. You can make a lot of money selling cars, and it is a ego driven thing. And the fact is that, we're not all sociopaths, and we do care. And, what I'm saying is not to not care, but to remember that at least 66% of the people that are seeing, at least, it can be higher than this, but at least 66% of the people that are seeing what you're doing with yourself online, promoting yourself, are appreciating it, or they just don't care. There's a small percentage that are going to judge you. And those are the ones you need to get out of your life. So, great Facebook Live today. I'll say it again. I'm going to try to be more interactive with you and with you guys. So the people that are listening to the podcast have no clue who you are unless you leave me a comment on YouTube, or if you're on SoundCloud, or if you're on iTunes, etc., etc. But I will definitely, this is my thing for 2017, is to be more of a two-way street, more conversations two-way. Carlos Rios coming in. I'm not in the audio industry, but I value your advice. Maybe this is something for another live video, but I'm in the web design business, and I haven't seen any web design companies that actually, let me see if I can extend that a little bit more, have had a good following or fan base. If you had a business, would you try to build your personal brand or that of your business? We need outro music too. This is what Kenny. So Carlos, both. I think that if you really put yourself out there about what you can do, I don't know what you do. If you do front end design, you do back end design. If you're in sales, if you're in operations, et cetera, web design is a competitive field. Trust me. The company that we had before, Vin Solutions, we built websites for car dealerships nationwide. A very, very competitive company, or a very competitive vertical in automotive at least. And I would say both, man. A fine balance of both. If more, 75% of yourself, because if you're promoting yourself and promoting what you do, then you're actually promoting your company as well. So I don't know if you're on the back end, if you're back end design for, or if you're up front, if you're operations, but yeah, share it all the time. So I need some outro music. Is what Kenny says. I got to figure something out for these. But they're getting better. I'm having a great time with these. I'm getting them amazingly a lot of views, and I appreciate it. It makes me feel good inside when I get every once in a while those messages that are a little bit negative about who do you think you are? Yeah, well, that happens. So make sure you have a great day, all right? Have a great, is it Thursday? Yeah. And keep smiling.